Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lorebound Legends. And before we say anything, we are so back. Let's go. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I'm joined today with Kailyn. Kailyn, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Oh, look at us recording on time.
On time.
I'm like, what have we been up to these past few weeks?
We got a last minute vacation, which kind of interrupted with, we basically last minute got approved of it and then spent kind of the week dying with this crazy heat wave. So we didn't actually do.
We were planning on being busy little boys. And then we were like, yeah, we're going to go to the zoo. I went to the Stampede. And it was hot, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did I do this?" And then we were gonna go to the zoo like in a few days, and then we went outside, and it was like, I don't know. I feel like most people know Celsius, but it's like over 30 Celsius everywhere, like the whole week for like weeks on end. So it's been hot, but it was nice to get some time off.
I was gonna say it's been just like too hot to actually do anything.
It's like crazy. We should go to a water park. That's all I want to do.
It's 33 degrees, so we're probably gonna start dying throughout this episode. So
yeah, it's warm in this room. We don't have the AC's on, but
it
just doesn't really come up here. So
it's not. It just doesn't change that it's just hot.
And we're like upstairs, the heat rises.
But no one cares about the heat.
Yeah, I was gonna then say no one cares about the heat. How are you? I
saw it in your face. I didn't
want to interrupt you before. I was ready though.
I'm doing very good. It's we did a big record yesterday, like with Into the 99 stuff, and now we do this one. Back to work, back to the grind. So we're gonna skip a little bit ahead.
A little bit, literally as far forward as we could
go.
Ahead.
Yeah. For people keeping up with the Magic universe, Bloomburrow just came out. Well, Bloomburrow will be coming out Friday for everyone hearing this. But so
basically.
I just kind of wanted to touch a little bit on the story of it. We kind of finished our last arc of the pre-canon books.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, you're saying you want to jump into this a little bit. I don't think that's the case. I think we're going to be doing this
Well, we don't know what we're doing yet. We'll figure it out.
We're talking about mice. Rats. We are the rats. Don't set me off.
Yeah. Technically, yes. there is lots of rats in the set. Yeah,
Ooh,
right?
Michael.
So I guess, let's just jump right into what is Bloomburrow. So first off,
you said this was a book, right? Like this was a series you read, or that's Over the Wall? I can't.
No, Redwall.
Redwall is also about mice?
Redwall is about mice, yeah.
Is Bloomburrow, because like they do Lord of the Rings, that's obviously a book series / also movies. Is Bloomburrow a book series?
No, Bloomburrow is just a magic story, but
okay.
But this is what Redwall is. If you look on the screen here, I guess I'll pop it up. Yeah, Redwall is by Brian Jacques, and it follows the story of like these.
Look at that little mouse.
The mice of like this place called Redwall Abbey. I would love to do Redwall lore at some point.
That'd be dope. I want to do Warriors lore still. So
yeah, exactly. It was a good book, but basically this is essentially Bloomburrow. You guys kind of get the point from the video here.
It's kind of what I thought. I honestly was like, this seems to be Daniel's series he was telling me about.
Redwall was just like a series I read when I was younger. It was really good. It was a very, very solid series. But we're not here to talk about Redwall.
I have one more thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. I like literally just remembered, but it was, have you ever read, and then it's a rabbit book, and it's like whispering. I can't remember what it is, man. I literally just looked at this book yesterday, and if you look up like big rabbit book, maybe then we'll find it. But I've never finished it, but it's supposed to be one of these like big, like heroic adventures where a bunch of rabbits have to go from like one place to another. And it kind of gives me the same vibe as like warrior books, at least, and maybe yours. It's not a kid's book, and I can't remember the name. So if it comes to me, I'll just blurt it out. But anyway.
Yeah, I can't figure it out there. So anyways, this is essentially though the Redwall series of it. So yeah, Bloomburrow is it's a new plane that we've never been to before. It's plane of the multiverse, introduced in the 2024 set of the same name. It's the first all animal plane.
Oh, so it's the best plane.
Yeah, and anyone who planeswalks to it becomes like animal versions.
Adorable.
That's why they
you show me the frog lady or whatever.
Yeah, the Nissa frog, who shakes the pond. Hilarious.
So cute.
Let me see. Bloomsborough.
I would just hang
planeswalkers.
out on this plane, honestly. They're like, oh, this plane, you turn into animals. I'd be like, all right, neat. What little guy am I?
Yeah, I kind of see who you. What if you got an animal you didn't like? Though?
I was about to say, okay, so you know, like the Harry Potter test you do. I wasn't really a Harry Potter kid, but I know I like did the test to see which house I'm in. I'm a Hufflepuff. I feel like that would make sense.
I show up on
my
like
personality.
a big walrus. I still hate the heat in Bloomburrow as well.
True.
But
Okay, but I was gonna say you can do your Patronus. You can find out like what your I don't know. I understand Harry Potter. I've never seen all the movies, but your Patronus is like your little like buddy, like your animal buddy. What's a Patronus?
I don't think that's what. I guess it is. Yeah. What Bloomburrow animal would you be? Let's see if there's a.
That's funny. I don't think there was a quiz yet.
There's not a quiz.
BuzzFeed's dead, so how are they going to tell us? Anyway, my Patronus is like, you're supposed to be like your spirit animal guide or whatever. And I was like, all right, give me a good one. And I took the test and it was like dolphin. And I was like, all right, I don't really like the ocean. So I had to sign up with a different email to try again. And I got dolphin again. And I did it the third time and I got dolphin. And I was like, I'm cursed to have dolphins. So if I became a dolphin in this Bloomburrow world, I would be pretty upset. Oh, they also have fish, so like that's a possibility of becoming something.
Well,
no,
I guess before we even talk about it, let's talk about what is on Bloomburrow. So, the animal folk of Bloomburrow have an advanced culture and are the main characters of the set. They wear clothing, they talk, they wield magic. They're animals, not animal humanoids, and they are to scale, meaning that they retain their natural size. That's what I like so much about the set is like the calamity beasts are like the big, bad, scary things in the set. It's just like an owl.
Yeah, well, and they're like, for little mice, that is like the scariest thing. Especially if there's no humans. Like, so if you have no, like a human's huge, but if you don't have a like human to scale, what's the scariest thing? This like thing that lurks in the night and is trying to like swoop down and eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spooky.
So we have, they have shorter average lifespans than humans. Kind of
that
like
makes sense.
Most,
That's animals, yeah.
So
unless they're a parrot.
Yeah, right.
Those things you got to put them in your will when you die because you could be passing them on to like a kid.
Could you imagine if you just die? So everyone else is inheriting like money and again, never fun when family dies, but it's just like here's a bird you have to take care of for 40 more years.
Yeah, or turtles are the same.
And the bird's not nice. He's full of critiques.
You spent your life training this critiques with this bird for your kid that you knew was going to get them.
You look fat. This bird's so mean, hurtful.
Make your bed before you go to work.
Yeah, it's just a chores bird.
Yeah, it's just like I'm still getting nagged from beyond the grave.
Dishes in the sink again.
Turn the lights off when you leave the room.
You'll never find a husband this way.
You'll never amount to anything.
Wow. Yeah.
Man. This bird's got criticisms.
Yeah, this parrot's claws don't cut as deep as its words.
Yeah.
So
sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Sticks and stones will break this parrot if it keeps mad trash talking.
True.
So they have alignment wise, they have red and green badger folk. They have white and black bat folk, which was like such a cool sub theme of the set. I want to talk like they made them so good, and they should have flushed out like this bat cleric worshiping the Moon Knight people.
That's pretty cool.
It was like so much better. Like they didn't make enough of them. I'll find it 1 second. MTG bat cleric. It was such a good looking. Like I wish that they would have made a 5th commander deck. I play a lot of commander. For anyone who doesn't play that, if you're looking at the lore, I play commander.
It would be nice if they just like. It seems kind of like they make a planes and then they move on to the next one, right? It would be very nice if, well, I just especially like animals. So if they wanted to really hang around with this deck and build more things off of this Bloomburrow plane, I'd be a happy guy.
Yeah, like 1 second here. Here we go.
Look at that silly guy. Well, and then the bats also, I bet, to like the mice and stuff would be kind of scary because it's just like he's like only out in the night and like.
Yeah, look at this in the pop up.
He's cute though.
That's awesome. The bat cleric theme was like so cool. I just really liked it. I wish that they did what you were just saying is how they used to do sets. It used to be block sets where it'd be like 4-ish sets following the same kind of storyline, and this would have been so fun to follow, like winter, spring, summer, fall.
That would be dope, yeah.
Especially because like they made cards for it. All the lands have a really cool cycle of it. You'd really like the flavor of all of this set. It's very cool.
I think I would. I just really like animals. I think they're so cute.
So they also have mono green beaver folk. They have bird folk.
Forest beavers.
Yeah, bird folk who are white, red, and blue aligned. Fox folk who are
Oh my gosh, adorable.
green, white, blue. Frog folk who are that, like, same with Bant, and then also black. Hamsters, awesome. Hedgehogs.
Little guys.
Lizard folk.
Hamsters are crazy. Okay, how canonical are these animals to their actual animal counterparts? Because do you want to know my fun fact about hamsters? It's not a fun fact.
Sure.
Hamsters are really vicious. I worked at a pet store, and you're not supposed to, if you have a hamster, you're only supposed to have one hamster. You're not supposed to have more than one because they get like territorial and they get anxious, and then they try to kill each other. So to compensate, many hamsters living in a cage together, you had to like put electrolytes in their water to like make them happy. Anyway, there are some days you would come in and a hamster would have eaten another hamster's head. And yeah, so that it was definitely not great. And then the other thing about hamsters, besides them getting anxious and then eating each other's heads, mom hamsters, when they give birth, if they're like anxious, they will just eat all their babies.
What?
So
It's not a fun fact at all.
That's what I said. I said it's not a fun fact, but it is a fact. So are these hamsters? Are the hamsters basically like
No, I think
on the outs?
I think they're nice little guys.
Okay, good. I'm like, is everyone being like, oh, that weird hamster? Yeah, that one ate her babies again.
There's the hedgehogs, lizard folk, mole folk, mouse folk, otter folk. The otters are awesome.
Adorable.
Possum, rat, rabbit, raccoon folk, skunk folk, squirrel folk, turtle folk, voles, weasel folk.
So the turtles live forever. The turtles are the ancient ones, I'm assuming, in this plane.
Kind of, yeah. I'd like to show you, because you don't really play a lot of Magic yet, right?
Yes, I know Jetmir, and that's it. I know the cat deck that you have made me. Besides that,
get it?
Yeah.
So 1 second. So just take a look here. I'll scroll through. I'll go over to the pop-up screen here. You can see like this is what like the legendary creatures look like.
I like this infamous Cruel Claw. Is that a weasel? Yeah.
It is weasel, yeah.
He's cute. This big badger is really silly.
Hugs the badger.
Aw, his name's Hugs. That's so cute.
He's one of the main characters. Like this is what the Calamity Beasts look like. So it's like a giant elk, like a big elk,
cool.
big huge fish. This bird.
It's a scary fish.
Yeah.
That looks like, okay, is the fish the...
Thing in the back,
confused.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking it was like...
No, that's just a boat.
Okay, it's like a big swordfish or something, it looks like. But again, these are all for like little guys, so...
Yeah, well, and like
any kind of normal fish.
the flavor text on the Maha is its wings, its wingspan reaches from dusk till dawn.
Yeah, for the owl. That's really dope.
Wild, right? And then they've got like a big bird dragon thing.
I like Yigra, eater of all. That would be very scary if you're like a little mouse guy, you're just like having a little walk and then you see this like giant like cougar come up behind you. Have you heard of cougar? I've got so many animal facts. I don't have any other facts.
We should just do an animal facts podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I've had a cougar come up behind me.
Have you heard them like what they sound like? They scream like they sound like women dying.
I've had a cougar come up behind me.
Was it talking?
Sound like a dying woman. How are you doing, son?
Oh, what's up?
But anyways, back to this.
Why did you have a cougar come up behind you? You can't just...
I'm talking about an older woman, Kailyn.
Oh. Oh.
Talking about an older woman.
Okay, have you heard of cougar? Animal.
No. Anyways, 1 second. Back away from those. So keep looking at the legendary creatures here. Like,
I like the bear.
You've got rabbit. Yeah, the bear is awesome. It's like the concept is that it's like coming through and it's like destroying everything and it's got a forest growing on its back because like destruction's in front of it. And
that's cool.
yeah, and what regrows is very, very cool.
I also like its name just in general. Like they would know it as Bellow of the Woods because like it would be such
so
a
loud.
loud call. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, run.
Right? But yeah, so they've got like rabbit warriors, lizard mercenaries, rats, bat clerics, squirrel warlocks. It's all very cool. Look at this. Look at the little mouse soldier.
Mabel's so cute.
Mabel is very cute. Mabel's one of the...
What is... Oh, sorry. I hit something with my ring. Oh, it's a raccoon warrior. I was wondering what this one above was.
Oh, the trash panda?
Yeah. Trash tactician.
Yeah. The glove on it. There's another. I'll show you the other artwork of Mora. It's really really funny. You can see them all kind of more up close.
Oh, he's so cute. I like that artwork so much better.
Yeah. So look at with
he's so cute.
The fork and the little knife. Like,
Oh, he's like a little Wolverine.
yeah, you get it.
Oh, that's adorable.
But yes, so there's tons of like these different kind of like animal groups on the plane, basically just trying to exist.
Yeah.
And then it says not every animal on Bloomburrow is sapient. Non-sapient animals are not considered animal folk by the inhabitants of the valley. So if they can't like talk,
they're NPCs basically.
yeah, kind of. And those are like the bears, the birds, the boars, cats. But again,
what? Why?
Well, because if you're a little mouse, like a cat's never gonna like stop and talk to you, right?
Oh, okay. I was like, well, why wouldn't the bears be like sentient? Like, wouldn't they still be sentient? They're just not speaking to them.
But you got to remember, it's like a set of birds and mice. So these things are enormous comparatively.
Yeah. When you were saying that about the cats, it was like, oh, that's why they wouldn't think the bears are like sapient or whatever. They probably are, but they're just not. They're not really interested in talking.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And then they've got lots of like these like. I really like that they really flushed this plane out a lot, which is awesome.
Yeah, they're also showing like other things, like you can't talk to the pill bugs and the clams, which is just silly.
Yeah, snails.
The snails can be sapient, it says though.
Yeah. Then there's like wolves, wolverines, turtles, snakes. Like basically the things that are going to eat them are considered the non-sapient things in here.
Or just too big to maybe hear them, honestly, at the same time.
True. So let's jump back up to the top here. And we'll go a little bit into it. So Bloomburrow is a charming pastoral world full of anthropomorphic, hard word to say.
You got it.
Animals. I get there. No human has set foot on the plane. Planeswalkers who visit it are animals shifted to match its inhabitants.
Adorable.
Yeah, that's why I went to the bottom. I was going to say what of these animal folk would you want to get shifted to?
If I tell you, then I have a fun fact.
Sure.
I like foxes, but foxes I found I follow someone who Juniper the Fox, or I think that's her name, but on like Instagram, and she says you shouldn't get foxes as pets. She has them specifically to like help care for them because they can't survive in the wild.
Yeah, they're mischievous and they smell bad.
They smell really bad, she says, and they need spaces to dig, so you need to like build and like you can smell your house from like a long way away. There's obviously rat folk, so like if I wanted to do the meme, I have to go with. Well, I'm also Year of the Rat, so I think I kind of have to go.
You are
with
the
it.
rats.
I am the rats.
Here to celebrate another birthday bash.
That or like a raccoon or a fox. Those are all very
I feel
cute.
like you'd be the trash panda one.
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah,
They're cute.
I like to hoard just a
You get
bit.
it.
Yeah,
I really
What
like
about you?
I like the little mouse folk. I love the frogs. They're all silly.
the frogs are silly.
I also like all of the rabbits. I think the rabbits are really cool.
Yeah. Weasels are just silly. I'm thinking ferrets, but ferrets are just like snake cats is what I call them.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mouse are. There's so many cool like mice in the set.
I've seen the one Mabel, is it, or Maple? Well, I can't remember
Mabel,
what her name
yeah.
was, but she's just super cute.
Yeah, Mabel's one of the main characters for me actually get into the story. So let's take it away a little bit of here. You go ahead.
Okay, the animal a visitor becomes is influenced by the native animals of their home plane. Oh, that's so cool. So like if you have like the only thing in my brain is zebra.
Well, if you were from like a place that was like full of squirrels, right? Like
yeah,
you'd
like
take
if you
on
have
like
a
squirrel.
forest. Yeah. Yeah. And then maybe if you were like in a desert, it'd be like a lizard or whatever. That's cool. When leaving Bloomburrow, its animal folk inhabitants likely retain their forms, but may change size. Oh, interesting. Okay, so like if
kind of crazy, just a giant mouse now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like they decide to come to your plane and then suddenly it's just a 6 foot tall mouse. That would be horrifying.
I was going to say too, by the way, this is the first set out of the Omen Paths arc, and I've talked a little bit about the Omen Paths arc, which was them just kind of going around and I hated it. I didn't like it at all.
That's funny.
I thought that they could do so much cool stuff where they could like travel to different planes and bring the characters there, and they're like cowboy set, throwing cowboy hats.
Oh, is that like the whole like thing they did?
Yes. The Omen Path arc made it so that they could, like, instead of just the planeswalkers, anyone could kind of traverse in between the planes. So I was like, we'll get all these cool characters who aren't planeswalkers able to go like do these diplomatic missions and like maybe like go see different things, and they're
Cowboy
like,
hats with
like,
no one on that plane, right?
Yeah, they're like, what about a cowboy hat? What if we did Clue? What if all the players came together and did Clue as a murder mystery? I'm like,
Ooh.
it was bad. It was not good. So
Yikes.
I'm happy to see it back to this.
Yeah, this is really fun. This is how you get me into anything. Is
The-
do people become animals? And also, is there just a lot of animals? That was the best episode of Magic School Bus when I was a kid. When they turn into animals to learn about them. That was my favorite.
Miss Frizzle should be in jail.
She really should be. She like putting a bus in like kids like systems to learn about them being sick, and she's like turning them into sea creatures in an episode, and she's bringing them to bringing them to Pluto, and then Arnold's taking his helmet off and his face is freezing, and that gave me nightmares as a child.
That's fair.
Yeah,
There's no way these permission slips were signed. Is all I'm saying.
I don't think there was any.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Miss Frizzle straight bench in 405. She was in that menace. She was on drugs. Miss Frizzle's on PCP.
Have you seen her outfit? She has to be.
Yeah. So it says
She's putting the kids on drugs as well. That's how they're hallucinating these trips.
Oh, we're in a bus, man.
Yeah. Oh wow, the bus, the lizard. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's too much going on.
We went on a trip into a digestive system. These are heroin. These are heroin needle marks.
Yeah.
These are track marks. Are you using?
Oh
Anyways,
my gosh. Okay. How bad?
Yeah, so Bloomburrow seems to have been unaffected entirely by New Phyrexia's invasion of the multiverse, which is great.
Okay. So that's with
Elish Norn and stuff.
yes,
the
that's
Praetors,
with Junji. I just think Junji Ito. With that's Elish Norn, right?
There is a Junji Ito Elish Norn, yes.
Okay. I'm just like that's the only artwork I really
Elish
remember.
Norn is not Junji Ito.
Every time I say
these are
no.
unfounded
Okay.
allegations.
No. Every time we say Elish Norn, I think Atraxa. I get them confused because of the A's. So Elish Norn, she's the big bad
Elish Norn
lady.
starts with an E. Elish.
Yeah,
not
so does
Elish.
Eltraxa.
Eltraxa.
Anyway, it's nice that she didn't bring her shenanigans to this plane, but then she would have been turned into a cute little mouse or something. And then what's she gonna do?
What are they gonna do? Like mechanize these mice? Could you imagine if they mechanize the bear? Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
Oh gosh.
You think it's a calamity when it's a normal bear?
Yeah,
Wait
seriously.
until they cut the bear open and it's
Oh.
that's what the Phyrexia stuff was them like experimenting and like being like cyborg at all.
Daniel, that would be very bad.
No, I end the episode right there. So there's the Calamity Beasts. They're huge non-sapient elemental creatures that bring seasonal change and weather variations, led by Maha the Night Owl. Maha.
That's dope.
They wreak disaster on an unprecedented scale while they move through the landscape. They're essentially living seasons in every bit as much of nature as the animal folk.
It's kind of like the elk, and the elk looked really cool because it's got like sunflowers all around it. Like, it would be interesting to see this thing come through and be like, oh, this is like the mark of a change of a season. But it's so scary, like it's a god to them basically, so they have to just
all of the
best.
artwork that like Maha's in. Like, look at this one.
That's dope.
Pull up Dawn's Truce here, like
So the owl that's a big owl.
Big,
well,
it's
again,
an ominous owl.
To a little guy. Oh, I'm seeing a little mouse
You're
in
seeing
front
the little-
now.
yeah, the little
that'd
mouse
be
on it.
horrifying.
I love when I look at like cards like this especially when I do spoiler episodes, anything like that kind of thing. It's so fun because you see like such a big high artwork and you're like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and like I love the little like the celestial look of the owl. It's got like stars and little moons in its wings and stuff. Like it looks so cool. It'd be so menacing. Oh my gosh, that's horrifying. That's
not the owl. That's just
it's a different owl, but that's so spooky. I would be horrified of this owl. The other one?
You see the flavor text on this one, the other baleful Strix art. It says it came from beyond valley, not a calamity like the great Maha, and not animal folk. It was something new.
That's horrible. Basically for like listeners, it looks like a ghost owl, like a zombie owl kinda. Like it looks not pleasant.
Right.
The other one's like, oh, it's cool looking and scary, but this one's like, this was just scary.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say quickly, so Maha, also known as the Great Night Owl, the Night Owl, and the Eclipse Owl. That's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh
is
my
the
gosh.
antagonist of Bloomburrow in the Dragonstorm arc. And the Dragonstorm arc, before I get into more, it is the 1 year storyline that follows the Omen Path arc, which sucked. It sucked. It's the second part of the 3-year story, codenamed Metronome.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's it kind of for now. We don't have tons of it. So far, there's one dragon in the Dragonstorm arc, which is the Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest, like elemental thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, take us away about the description.
Okay, for Maha. Maha is enormous. Her wingspan as broad as the branches of an oak tree. Oh my gosh, it'd be so scary. Deep blue and violet on her belly, breast, and wings transition to black striped primary and tail feathers. Turquoise magic suffuses? Yes, suffuses her beautiful, terrible form, lighting up her eyes and beak within the hollow of her face and highlighting her deadly talons. In her wake, night follows, cutting along the sky to reveal star-flecked darkness beneath. The beast's movements are completely quiet, its passing marked only by the ensuing destruction and the chill wind of her wings. That would be horrifying to see as a little guy. I'd be like, yeah, that's death. Like, that's death itself.
Yeah, this thing is wild.
Yeah.
And again, its passing marked only by destruction is crazy.
Yeah. And the chill wind. So, like, you would feel it, too. You'd just be like, oh, like, Maha's here. Bah, bah, bah.
Womp, womp,
Yeah,
womp.
you get it.
Around 4564 AR, King Glarb, which is hilarious. First off, every part of the Glarb stuff is hilarious.
His moistness. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a frog.
Yeah.
I'm liking that we're skipping because of this stuff I wanted to skip to. I know you wanted to as well. And everyone's names is like not intense. Like they get one name. They're animals, so I guess that makes sense. But we've had people with 5 names and whatever. So like just seeing them be like Glarb. His name is Glarb. You can say that, right? Like
Yeah, there's a card. I've got to find it here. 1 second. I'll pull it up on the other screen while you keep talking about the storyline here.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the storyline, around 4564 AR, King Glarb of Fountainport hired the weasel folk mercenary Cruel Claw to steal Maha's egg. That sounds like a big mistake. Hoping to gain control of a calamity beast. Ugh. This caused Maha to go on a rampage across valley. Yeah, makes sense. Resulting...
I was going to say that makes sense why the little mouse is holding the egg, probably bringing it back, being like, hey.
I'm sorry.
Whoa,
yeah, I
whoa.
didn't notice. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, please, we're bringing back your little guy. And that resulted in the destruction of the village of Pondside and caused chaos and panic among the residing animal folk. Debris caught fire which spread to other buildings, and all of that remains of Pondside were burnt in splintered ruins. Well, King Glarb is not very smart. After Mabel and her companions discovered Glarb stole the egg, they defeated him and his mercenaries, after which the Stormhawk and Maha appeared fighting each other. Is Stormhawk the spooky one?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Let me quickly keep looking at the let me quickly keep looking for this. You keep going on here.
Mabel returned Maha. Am I going too far?
Well, this is a gist of it.
Mabel returned Maha's stolen egg to her, after which Maha ceased her rampage and departed peacefully.
So Maha finally chills down a little bit.
Yeah, she just wanted her baby back. Baby back ribs.
You get it. You understand. Okay, so now you keep reading this part here.
Sorry, I was a piece above. Season of Chaos. In Bloomburrow's distant past, the Calamity Beasts were common sights, wreaking havoc on Valley. In this era, the animal folk survived, buried underground until they banded together to forming the Order of the Holly Leaf. Okay. So they're trying to all survive together.
Mm-hmm. Where are we at?
We are at War of Cinders.
Oh. So yeah, 1 second. What is this Order of the Holy Leaf? Sorry, I just have to find this card is important to me. You keep taking it away with this Order of the Holy Leaf.
Holly
Leaf, that's even funny. That's cute.
Yeah. The Order of the Holly Leaf, it used to be a mighty and storied group of soldiers who were the guardians of the magical sword Cragflame, and their members include the legendary hero Lily of the Valley and the mouse folk Mabel, who's the legendary hero. And the Dire Shade Company are a band of at least a dozen mercenaries led by the weasel folk Cruel Claw. The Dire Shades include squirrel folk necromancers. That's crazy.
Yeah, the squirrel folk are awesome.
That's so funny. I feel like there's so many squirrels they could really wreak some havoc. Bird folk, lizard folk, rabbit folk, raccoon folk, and skunk folk among their ranks. They got a lot going on. After their defeat by Mabel's party in Fountainport, they either surrendered to authorities or escaped the city with their leader.
And then the Paws Patch Party.
Aw, these Order of the Holly Leaf, Dire Shade Company, and Paw Patch Party, those are all so cute. Paw Patch Party are a group of powerful and adeptly trained rabbit folk who patrol Valley to protect from calamity beasts. These warriors are known for their antler helmets. That's dope. and large metal-coated weapons and shields. Members of the Paw Patch Party are renowned for their skills and perseverance, owing in large part to their excellent provisions.
Okay, so I did find the card I was talking about. It wasn't Glarb. It was Blore, and I just want you to read this. I'll pop this up here. It's the card Overprotect, but look at the artwork. It's so silly.
Oh my gosh,
first off.
he's holding Venus flytraps?
Yes, but then look at what the flavor text is. Read it.
Blore's defenses are impervious from Blore the Impervious.
Blore the Impervious.
That's funny.
I just laughed really hard when I read that earlier. The Blore the Impervious. I thought it was Glarb though.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so not Glarb. We go back though to. Oh yeah.
Are the frogs just like pond sounds like that bubbles would make like when they come up? Glorb, blorp, blur.
That kind of does make sense.
Yeah.
I want to go back to. It wasn't Maha. It wasn't the Dragonstorm arc. I had so many tabs open that people don't need to see. There we go. You guys will never see that I'm reading from the Maha tab on MTG Fandom.
No, now they know.
Okay, so the War of Cinders is from this point the animal folk began to develop magic, later known as weaving, to protect their companions, and had their first victories against the weaker calamity beasts. So
oh my gosh, who are they fighting?
They were
these little guys?
Yeah,
little mice?
Yeah, the little guys finally were able to fight one of the calamity beasts. I don't know which one.
I have no idea.
It's in the actual story when we get to the story.
Yeah.
But so battles raged for 2 generations until Wildseer, the wildfire wolf, turned the tide against the animal folk. Lily of the Valley, the champion of the Order of the Holly Leaf, wielded the seed flame to weaken the calamity beasts. In the final battle of the war, she drove the weakened Wildseer away from the valley and fashioned the sword Crag Flame from its broken tooth.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's what Mabel has.
Crazy.
Mabel has.
That's what I thought.
The Crag Flame.
What a cool sword.
Yeah, the sword of the
tooth. Well, and it's a wildfire wolf, so he'd kind of be like a fire guy.
Kind of cool,
That's
right?
dope.
Then we get into the Weaver's Calamity in it. So Weavers grew in power. They were protecting the valley from the weakened calamity beasts. Over time, magic drove some Weavers mad, turning them into monsters fueled by rage. They rampaged unstoppably, threatening the newly achieved peace. This led to the great weavings being sealed in favor of small spells that anyone could manage.
Interesting. Nice.
That's kind of cool. So they probably had to get all together and do like a bunch of big magic, like a group, like chant kind of thing.
To figure out how many other people could use it.
Yeah.
Foundation of Valley. Once a powerful weaving was gone, the calamity beasts returned to the valley. However, the animal folk learned to deal with them by using small weaving in innovative ways. Oh, that's nice. Some of them, such as the mouse folk, focus on direct fighting. What? That's crazy. I thought the little guys would run, but they have a lot, I guess. So they would go and form armies to protect their villages and cities. Others focused on predicting their paths, such as the frog folk, via auguries, or the raccoon folk, otter folk, and bird folk patrolling the valley by ground, water, and air. I guess the raccoon folk. Okay, I was like, who's in the air? And then I was just confused with
the birds.
The raccoons were, but there's birds, right? The rat folk store all the acquired knowledge. Is that me? Just a little.
That's you with animal facts.
That's me with animal facts. There you go.
You would be a rat on the plane.
I'd have to be.
Yeah, true.
Except the problem is they say it would be animals from your plane, and we are.
Yeah, I think we're.
Am I going to dox us? Like we're in Alberta, and Alberta has no rats.
Yeah, we're the only rat-free place. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So I don't know if it could work. They'd make an exception.
Maybe a mouse folk, but you're like 7 feet tall. You'd be basically a tall mouse, which is nothing but a rat.
There you go. We figured it out.
We get around there.
So true.
The lizard folk learned to amplify the little available weaving into spells of great power by using catalysts, such as pieces of smoldering oak. Similarly, the squirrel folk use the energy within the calamity beast's bones to raise the dead, and the bat folk draw their power from beyond by understanding celestial phenomena.
Wait. So the squirrels are like taking energy from the calamity beast as they're like running up to them or whatever? They're like, let me just yoink your energy?
No, they're using the bones of the ones that pass away, the calamity beasts that pass away.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah. Sheesh. Do you think they ever like use their like energy to like bring back like a loved one? To just be like, hi, just want to say hi.
Yeah, zombie squirrels.
Yeah.
the rabbit folk cultivated the soil to feed them all. So the rabbit folk
that's really nice.
Yeah, they're real homeboys. This specialization led to the formation of the actual civilization of the valley. So they all kind of work together.
So there was like groups before, and now now they all live together as buddies. My favorite.
Yeah. And then so the story that goes on is around 4564 AR, King Glarb hired the weasel folk Cruel Claw to steal the Calamity Beast's egg.
So I think this is the same piece. With Maha.
One second. So it reawakens their fury.
Ah.
Yeah, so the Calamity Beasts all began to ravage again after the era of relative peace.
Oh.
Maha attacked multiple villages, including Pondside and Fountainport, and the Floodgar flooded Three Tree City. A group of small warriors and misfits under the leadership of Mabel returned the egg, which is what the story follows is Mabel's party and Mabel.
Aww.
So I guess let's see who was in Mabel's party. That's what the artwork of Bloomburrow is.
The one I did today?
Yeah, the
For
thumbnail.
your thumbnail? Yeah.
Yeah. So Mabel's party is led by a misfit of heroes led by Mabel, formed to repel the Calamity Beasts in the Bloomburrow storyline.
This is why Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite stories, and it's just because guys teaming up on a little adventure, unlikely heroes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So the party first formed on Mabel's birthday around 4564 after Helga warned her about the Calamity Beasts. Mabel fetched the crag flame from her attic and announced she would travel to Pondside to find out what had happened there.
Why did she have it in her attic?
Because it was her mom. Her mom's the one who defeated the Calamity Beast.
Oh, dang.
Yes, which is why Mabel is Mabel's card is called Mabel Heir to the Crag Flame.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up here. Which is
that is such
honestly
cute
such
art.
cool artwork. Yeah,
it's so nice.
So like the pop up of it is this.
Aww.
Like the different arts of it are awesome. Look at it; it's just a little
flower
tooth
on her. Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah, she got the little flower. Mabel's a really cool looking character, and then this is the Crag Flame.
It looks like that's in a box, like in the attic, that they're showing it off. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
it looks like them getting up into it, like you just said with the attic. It's fun to know the story because then you can see it and be like, oh, this is when they went to get it.
Yeah.
But that's when Mabel enters. You create Crag Flame, a legendary colorless equipment artifact that gives
that's so cool.
These abilities. Yeah, it's really really cool. This set is like full of flavor. Like now that you know like how small they are, I'll quickly show you one other one. This is one of the ones that I like started making.
I like all the different artworks too.
Yeah, this is right here. So I'll pull this up as well. This is
what is he riding?
Arthur Marigold Knight,
Aww.
and I think he's on a little grasshopper.
Oh my gosh.
Or something, but he's got a little
bug.
But he's got a little marigold shield.
Aww.
Yeah,
he's the Marigold Knight. That's so cute.
Yeah, it's the set's just full of great flavor.
Well, and it's just like so creative because it's like it's little animals having to make things from things around them, right? Like it's not like they have technology and all these things. Like I ride the horse is too big, so now my horse is like a grasshopper or whatever.
Exactly.
Like it's just cute.
So the first party member we're going to talk about is Phineas. So take it away, please.
Phineas is a rabbit archer from Good Hill on Bloomburrow, and he's a member of Mabel's party. He's got a little bow. He's a sable-furred rabbit folk farmer who usually wears a wide straw hat. Adorable. An accomplished archer, Phineas has won the spring and autumn archery competitions of Good Hill too many times and has been banned from participating. That's so good. He comes from a long line of Good Hill farmers. When Mabel ventured to Pondside to investigate in around 4564 AR, Phineas excitedly announced or volunteered to accompany her despite his sister's protest. Gev, Hugs, Zoraline, and Helga also joined the party, but Phineas was the first to volunteer. That's nice. At Three Tree City, Phineas helped Mabel ask around to see if anyone had seen the squirrel folk necromancers they encountered previously.
So that's the first one we've got. Our next one is Gev, lizard folk from Good Hill on Bloomburrow and a member of the party. Gev's an adorable little guy.
I like the little armor. It's cute.
Gev is notable for the handsome red circles around his eyes. He can produce heat, causing his tail to flare orange, and he claims that he has previously lost his tail and can breathe fire.
That's so funny. Well, especially, it sounds like he might lie sometimes. Like, I can breathe fire, guys. But, like, he's like an iguana or a lizard. But he could lose his tail. Well, but no, I got it back.
He can make heat, too, right? He's got a little fireball going on.
That's so silly.
Very nimble, he's known to wield a pair of fire maces, swinging and spinning them in dizzying displays of grace and finesse. He is fast and a strong climber.
Aw. That last line sound like he wrote it. I am fast and also strong.
Yeah, so Gev once traveled beyond the outer woods with his badger folk friend Hugs and their skunk folk companion Kiki. The three refer to themselves as the striped rascallions. The events that took place were traumatic, so he will make up tales about adventures that never happened as a way to cope.
I'm so smart. I said it sounds like he makes things up.
Sounds like they lost their friend Kiki.
No.
Kiki's just a side character. It doesn't look like...
No.
Yeah. So one of his tales recounts the alleged encounter of the Calamity Graveyard, where they found a squirrel folk gathering bones. The squirrel folk allegedly weaved the bones into a monster with 4 clawed legs and 6 sharp-fanged heads and long necks. But the undead was defeated, and Kiki, who may or may not be real, chased the squirrel folk away.
So might not even be a side character, might not just exist.
Yeah. When Mabel ventured to Pondside to investigate, Gev begrudgingly decided to accompany her after Hugs had also volunteered, because Gev didn't want his friend to get into any trouble.
Aw. And Gev was the third to volunteer, so then Hugs would have been the second.
Is that what it says?
Well, it says, yeah, after these also joined the party, yeah.
Gev was third to volunteer. Hugs is an awesome looking card.
Hugs looks like he can hold his own. I don't think Gev had to worry about this bad boy.
Hugs the Badger's awesome, by the way. So Hugs is a gruff old badger folk from Good Hill on Bloomburrow and a member of the party. He's larger than most of Bloomburrow's animal folk, standing 3 times Mabel's height. That's you. He has broad shoulders and a white striped head. So he once, it talks about, it says that Hugs won't talk about the event we were just talking about.
Yeah, with Gev and possibly Kiki,
Yeah.
if she exists.
So Hugs volunteered to accompany her while standing and nodding his head. Gev, who was beside Hugs, begrudgingly agreed. But we're finding the party. We're getting it.
Yeah. So Hugs was second to volunteer.
Yes. Another member of the party is Zoraline, which is that really cool bat folk that I was showing you.
I was like, Coraline, I think, is like a bat book, but I think it's like Clementine or something. There's a book about a bat, Stella Luna. That's nowhere close, but that's the book.
I've had it on you this whole time for the video. That everyone's going to be confused with your great pantomime skills of, wow, she's really good at throwing her voice.
Yeah.
The
I don't even have a puppet.
Herself.
Yeah. I'm taking drinks. I'm sitting back.
Yeah. Wow, she's great. She does his voice so well. Zoraline is a dark furred bat with a high and dreamy voice. She usually wears flowing dresses that flutter around her while she flies.
Oh, that's so cute.
Zoraline can steal magic from enemy mages, releasing it with a keening prayer song.
That's dope.
I want to build Zoraline so bad.
Zoraline's cool.
Zoraline volunteered at the same Pondside investigation because she was unsettled by the alignment of the stars and believed that Pondside was the lodestone to guide her where she needed.
She would be a problem if she learned about horoscopes.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh, what's your sign? To be like, oh gosh, no.
And then you can take us.
Isn't there one more? Or is that it for the party?
I think that's the party. The party's Phineas, Gev, Hugs, Zoraline, and Mabel.
Oh, okay. I guess I was thinking Mabel is the last one.
I think at least let me see what Mabel's part is.
Let's look at this little picture. Assess.
Hugs, Mabel, Gev, Zoraline.
Okay, yeah. And then the rabbit.
Phineas, yeah. The rabbit.
The rabbit.
The rat bit. Okay, let me close some of my tabs up here. And then, you can tell us a little bit about our main character finally, and then I guess we'll get into the story on the next one we do.
Why? Because we're sweating to death in this room?
It is, yeah, warm.
It's a little
Take it away,
spicy. Please. It's like a wildfire wolf.
It is wildfire wolf.
Yeah, we've let a wildfire wolf be loose in here. Mabel is a mouse from Good Hill on Bloomburrow. She's a main character of the storyline. And Mabel has brown or auburn fur and obsidian eyes. Pretty sure that's just black eyes. And is the same height as her husband. With us? True. She wears an orange dress with a bright red holly button at her throat and normally carries a thistle hilt.
Rapier?
Okay, I'm like, is it rapier? Okay. Forged from the metal sap of ironwood trees, but also possesses the magical sword Cragflame. Sorry.
In her other hand, she carries a small iron sap shield emblazoned with a 5-petaled mallow flower.
I've seen the flower. It's so cute.
That's a little cute one. So she got 2 swords. She has the legendary fire sword Crag Flame.
And she's got like a little like fencing sword, it sounds like.
Yeah, you get it.
That's so cute. Though she is a baker by trade, what an adorable little mouse. Mabel is an experienced sword fighter, able to perform a maneuver known as blurring, using magic to obscure her movements. She is the scion of the mighty and storied group of soldiers called the Order of the Holly Leaf. Mabel is the wife of Clem and the mother of Rosalind, Foggy, and Pip. That's adorable. She is descended from the legendary hero Lily of the Valley.
That's kind of cute that like the story is like the heroine is like just also like a baker mom.
She's like a yeah, exactly. She's got a little family. She's got a little home life.
Yeah, I like it.
Can you imagine? She just like makes little things of bread, and everyone comes in the morning. They're like, "Oh," she's like fresh out of the oven, and then at the same time, she's like, "Oh, I have to go off on an adventure. I'll be back later."
Adventure time.
Yeah.
Bread can wait.
Yep.
So Mabel inherited the Crag Flame from her mother Iris. In her youth, Mabel joined a mouse folk band that traveled to the highest of hills in the valley to scale the Cliff of Heroes. She joined the local defenders when bandits attacked Good Hill, protecting the town and driving off the outlaws.
Let's go.
I guess we should see who Helga is too. Helga's who warned Mabel.
Yes.
We won't spoil there. I was gonna say I like that last line there. That was nice. Helga's a fraud folk hedge witch from Bloomburrow and a member of Mabel's party.
What the heck? Okay, there was another member.
But I think just kind of a side member, not the
Okay.
So Helga is a small skittish frog with pale green skin tinged with gray amber eyes with dark pupils and a perpetual nervous smile. She has trouble.
What an interesting line.
Take it away.
She has trouble focusing on things that don't interest her, implying that she might have ADHD. What the heck?
You might be a frog on this plane?
Apparently, I might. Frog rat?
Yeah, exactly. You're a hybrid mutant. Helga occasionally experiences visions, which others dismiss as an overactive imagination, but are connected to her augury ability. Helga is a minor weaver, with knowledge of some cantrips from her time learning under King Glarb. She carries an etched copper orb from her grandmother and a wand from her grandfather to enhance her magic. She wears her grandfather's wide-brimmed hat and carries a journal.
Cute.
Helga is an artist, and her journal includes abstract art, depictions of what she's seen, and depictions of her vision.
That's cool. She was born in a pond near Three Tree City. When the pond dried up one summer, her family moved to the Willow. Her father's parents found the city too crowded, and they chose to move to Pondside. She followed them and was raised by her grandparents in the village when she inherited their home after their passing. Why didn't she stay with her parents?
No idea.
I want to know. Helga briefly studied weaving in Fountainport under King Glarb, but it ended poorly due to her absent-mindedness. I feel that, brother. When practicing magic, she knocked the king's staff loose, caused him to hit himself attempting to recover it, and dropped it on his head, breaking the staff and giving him a concussion.
Oh, she's a silly little guy.
Oh, she's just the silliest of guys. Helga escaped Pondside when it was attacked by Maha, and she traveled up Pond Creek and made it to Good Hill, where she warned Mabel and the assembled townsfolk about the coming of the Calamity Beasts. Spooky. When Mabel ventured to Pondside to investigate, Helga volunteered to accompany her because she wanted to see what happened to her homeland.
Okay, so she is also part of the party.
Okay, maybe she's in the picture. We just missed her.
Yeah.
Screw you, Helga.
Yeah.
We found you eventually.
Yeah, we won't go into more because it goes into the actual story, and we'll go on the actual story. So where was the rest of it? I wanted to talk about Three Trees City as well.
I feel like that's a tongue twister, Three Trees. Not like very much, but I like the name. I think it's cute.
Where is so the geography. These are the places in it, and I guess that'll probably be where we wrap on it. So the known locations on it is the valley. It's the rural and vibrant home of the plains animal folks. A small region in the larger plain of Bloomburrow. Valley is a temperate stretch of land, home to a diverse...
Yep. Bloomburrow is the plain?
Yeah, Bloomburrow is the whole plain.
Okay, and then like valley is like it'd be like a country.
Valley's
maybe.
like a continent.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like a bigger area.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
So the big valley is the...
Yeah.
It's also kind of interesting now that I think about it that they said that they like bring the seasons and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the bear waking up from hibernation probably brings about the spring and the regrowth of things as it tramples through, and the elk brings summer because that's when they come out to feed.
Yeah, and they like kind of like work up the grass and whatever, and maybe that helps things. And they also would have like seeds on their back, and so they're pollinating as they're coming through. Like,
You
yeah,
get
that's really cool.
right? Okay, so Valley's a temperate stretch of land, home to a diverse array of wildlife and natural landmarks. Within Valley are 5 biomes: meadows, ponds, marshes, hills, and thickets. Meadows are characterized by flowers and grass dotted with animal folk farms. Ponds are freshwater, fed by rainfall, and are popular locations for fishing.
Cute. These sound like such nice little places. And the marshes teem with insect life, especially in the tunnels and subterranean caverns below. That's where you would find your horses. Can you imagine having to be like, okay, got to go to the caverns. That's where we got to get a few horses.
Get a grasshopper horse?
Yeah, or you got to get like a beetle to like drive your boat or something. Like you gotta find them. The hills have sparse flora, and the ample sunlight warms Valley's lizard folk. I feel that. I'm like cold-blooded. Every time it's like cold in the house, I'm freezing, and then I can't control my body heat.
Yeah, you're too warm.
I'm in that sun. The forests are lush, holding enormous ancient trees that house cities of animal folk. The land outside Valley's villages and towns are known as the Brambles.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
So there's the ancient seed bed, an untamed and uncultivated wilderness where unique plants can be harvested.
Oh.
Though much of the food grown here isn't as refined as that grown in the valley, rabbit folk learn to take in the variants found here and cross them with other varieties to increase yield, flavor, or size. It's the source of many of the seeds that grow in the valley.
That's cool. The burning bog is a smoldering bog that never burns out. It marks the end of the valley and the beginning of the mystery lands upon. That'd be so spooky, especially like a little guy. And it's not charted. Like it's...
Yeah, right.
How am I ever going to get there?
Well,
and a bog's so big.
And if you think about it, though, right? Like to a mouse, like a valley is like a big valley would be like the whole
world
entirety of their life. Like for them to cross it, right? Is huge. It's so you'd be so far from home.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Little guy far from home.
There's the there's the Calamity Graveyard. It's a large pit of tar that contains bones from calamity beasts killed during the War of Cinders. Squirrel folk draw their necromantic powers from here.
That'd be so spooky to go to. That makes me think of like Lion King with the elephant graveyard or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what I think of. Just kind of freaky. Don't want to be there. The Cliff of Heroes is a cliff on the highest of hills in Valley, scaled by the bravest inhabitants, especially teams of mouse folk, to demonstrate their willpower and teamwork. That's cute. It is said that the cliff is so high that the sun never sets on it.
Oh, that's so to them it's so big, and it's just,
it's just a cliff.
It's probably just like a little rock formation.
Aww.
And I like that they've got to scale it to show that they're brave.
And they have teamwork. They're little buddies.
They work together.
Yeah, because they have to do their little armies to protect their village.
Yeah.
They're a group, not
An
just
army
one.
of mice would kind of suck to fight against.
Yeah.
Especially if the mice had little swords.
Yeah, they're all just like, they just swarm you.
Yeah, they're like, what's up?
Yeah.
So there's the Crater of the Cosmos, a vast obsidian crater left by an unknown cosmic event. At night, water condenses on the surface, causing the sky to be refracted like a prison on every wall of the crater. Batfolk venture to the bottom of this planetarium-esque structure to stare into the cosmic reflections and deep into space, channeling the light of the moon into magical energy.
I love that, like, the bats are, like, shaman, kind of. They're just, like, so into, like, moon. I can't really, like, psychic, kind of, just really taking in what the moon's readings are. I just think it's really cool.
There's so many, like I said, that's why they should have flushed the bats in the set out more. Like I'm just trying to pull up and in all of the black stuff there's really cool stuff, but there's a bunch of let me pull this over here. Like look at this. Stargaze.
Oh, I love that card.
Yeah, they're just
that's so cool.
Here. Yeah.
It's just like for people that are listening, it's a bat with just like a galaxy in its eyes.
The set, like the plane of it was like designed really well, and so are the cards based around it.
But I want more.
For once, which is...
I love that the elk is so cool. Oh, I didn't see this. There's 2 cards for it.
Yeah, 2 different artworks.
It just looks so cool.
I'll show you quickly. I'll pop them up so you'll be able to see the Calamity Beasts here. So here's like Biza is one of them, the elementals, which is like, again, like so all cool. The sunflowers going. And I love sunflowers. Like sunflowers are like a big theme at like my wedding. They're like a great looking thing. Like they're just a nice colorful flower, right? So I love seeing it, and in the other art, all the roses and stuff.
I was about to say, the other art has roses.
This is like the Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest. This is the big fish. So there's like sketch artworks of like
I was about
what
to
they are
say,
and would
I
be.
like the sketches and like the background of like some of the pieces where it's like talking about, oh, these are the talons of the bird or whatever.
Yeah. Here's like a alternate of like Helga, like just sitting pondering
Aw.
absent-mindedly is kind of fun.
Can you go back up to the fish? That is a spooky. If I saw that fish,
You'd probably lose your mind.
I would actually probably pass out.
You'd
Like
pro-
I would be horrified to see that thing. Look at that little Kitsa, the otterball guy.
so
Adorable.
here's Hugs, another big member of the party.
Hugs is like holding like a dead skeleton of an animal. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, right. Here's like
Oh, the bear.
the bear one. Yeah, so like again, look at it like coming through, wrecking everything. You can see the forest regrowing on its back.
The bear gets four cards.
You can see again the like acorns scattering in its wake, like
Yeah.
and the mice and rabbits.
The
just
rabbits
running
are
from it.
screaming. Again, all the pictures of the bear, it's like it's roaring, and that would be very scary.
To something
Fellow
so
of the
small.
woods, yeah.
Again, look at Maha with its big, huge wings, and
That's so cool.
like I like that it's got like the little stars in its wings in the sketch
Yeah.
one. The like elemental snake would be another like technical one of these ones. Like again, a big viper is pretty problematic to
Yeah.
a bunch of mice.
Yeah.
These
Gets
are what,
swallowed whole.
these are what I was talking about though. Like based on like knowing that they have to work together and that there's different seasons. This is the season of gathering.
Oh.
There's a season of loss. So they
Oh.
look at the big calamity beast like rampaging through it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right.
That's the wolf, I think.
That probably is like
The wildfire
old
wolf?
Yeah, and then look at season of the bold, where
Wow.
the mouse is fighting one of the big calamity beasts again in both arts.
That's crazy.
There's season of the burrow where they're all working
Aw.
together.
They're just sleeping underground as the calamity beasts are above.
Yeah,
I like that it shows a crab as one of the beasts, but again, like that would be big to a little mouse, and it's got pinchers.
little mouse, little hamster, and then the season of weaving where they're all working together and
That's so cute. These
Yeah.
cards are so good.
yeah, right. Like it's and then Yigra's another one of the calamity beasts, eater of all. Like all other creatures are food. In
Yeah.
addition to their other types.
Well, and its mouth like glows. Like it would just be scary to see this thing come up to you.
Yeah, right. Like it's I think that they designed that stuff really, really well.
I love the bunch of different artworks. So you can kind of get a sense of like different people's thoughts of what it looks like.
Yes. So then we've also got Durim, which is beside the pond side and Mintvale on the main road.
You also have a dandelion field between the Ratfolk Cavern and Fountain Port.
Oh, I missed that one.
It just doesn't have
Yeah.
a name. Yeah.
Dandelion Field would be nice.
Yeah.
The burning oak, a once great oak tree that was split by wild seer's fire and lightning, and
Wow.
still smolders generations later.
Have you seen those? Like after a wildfire and you see like the tree burning from within?
Yeah,
That'd be so scary.
it's revered by lizard folk and used by artisans as a power
I
source.
bet. There's the Fell Comet, which is a floating comet above an underground pond deep beneath the surface of the valley. It is worshipped by rat folk. They get it. Water leaks from the caves above, streaming over and around the comet and freezing into a basin of dry, icy land directly below that's used as a proving ground. Young rat folk must reach the center of the caverns and chip off a chunk from the icy rock as a test of their cunning and ingenuity. That's really cute. I
I
really
like that they have these little tests.
I like that.
There's the Flower Garden, a secluded grove in the underbrush and a sacred site of pilgrimage for rabbit folk of all ages. The winding path to the center has been planned over centuries so that no flowers are ever in danger or ever damaged by visiting rabbit folk.
Aw.
If a flower begins to die, the petals and other parts are collected to decorate the homes of any rabbit folk villages that witnesses the flowers passing. Seeds are planted where the old flower grew in the hope that it grows again. If a flower grows in an unexpected area, the path is forever changed.
That is so cute. That's so nice that like they revere everything about their
Yeah.
land. It's just like, oh, how nice. Goodness, there's a lot of places. Okay, Forest of Iron is a forest of ancient petrified ash trees made of iron hidden within a deep fissure. The trees still grow, their branches becoming sharp and pointed, while their bark oxidizes into rust. The forest is an important source of iron for armor and weapons. That's really cool. The thicker the tree, the more pure the metal towards the center is, with each tree ring containing more and more impurities. The most ancient trees have cores of pure steel. The forest is a site of pilgrimage for lizard folk. That's so cool.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Fountainport is a city formed as a three-tiered soapstone carved fountain that rises from the valley's largest pond. At its pinnacle lies a sculpted flower and a magically suspended spire of water. Porticules gate the city, and glass elevators slide in waterfalls connected on different levels. It's ruled by King Glarb, the king of Fountainport himself. The second tier of the city holds domed frog folk houses that sit upon individual bowls and more elegant boats than the lower level. On the top level, the weaving of water magic supplements mundane architecture. Top level contains the throne room where King Glarb resides, surrounded by magical pillars of water, and its basin is covered with many colored lily pads.
That'd be pretty. The Tadpool Harbor District is a rowdy district at the fountain's base. It consists of markets on floating docks and lily pads. That's pretty cool. And then Good Hill is a town with white petal roofs and woven grass walls interspersed with larger painted clay burrows and a tall windmill. Colorful glass rainwater collectors line its cobbled street. Towering above all, the wooden homes of bat folk stand atop long poles. Good Hill has a diverse population of many species, and it is a 2-day ride from Fountainport. That's so cute.
The Hanging Gardens, a shallow cenote behind a waterfall whose walls are covered with foliage that drapes down to touch the water's surface. Lily pads float freely on the surface of the pool, and frog folk come to bask in the sun. So they just come and chill out. That's nice.
Oh, that's nice. It's like a jacuzzi. Just gotta hang out.
Frog koozie.
Yeah. Hay Meadow at the southern point of Valley's main road. It is closer to Pondside than Good Hill is. Then it says Kells Ridge, but who knows what's there. And then there's the Knowledge Ossuary, which is a limestone cavern village inhabited by rat folk lore keepers. Oh, the lore? Rats and lore? That's us. The most ancient ossuary in Valley. It houses a library of the plains history. It is protected by powerful enchantments and warriors, and only a rat folk elder can permit a visitor to view the contents of the ossuary. One of its entrances along the Long River is covered by a mussel shell, and its tunnels are illuminated by enchanted lights. Long ago, it was burrowed by an extinct species of enormous insects. It is southwest of Fountainport.
That's cool. Mint Vale is north of Dew Rim. The Mushroom Valley, a vast valley full of mushrooms that grow large because of the ley line that runs below it. Colorful fungi, incredible plants, and strange insects thrive here, and the squirrel folk venture here to get poisonous plants, cultivate fungi, and scavenge like calamity beast remains. They go for bones in the Mushroom Valley.
Nice. That makes sense with the fungus and dead things. Like it would grow fungi.
This is cool. The Light Trap Spires, precarious spires stacked upon each other. Twice a day, the sun and the moon each beam through them, casting a shadow across valley. Mirrors catch this light, reflecting it onto massive opaline gems embedded in the center of the towers. Here, an elder bat folk trades their sight for visions of the realms beyond. Their eyes are subsequently filled with a unique nebula-like pattern that marks their ascension to the upper ranks of the priesthood. Oh, so these bats are like, they stare into this reflected light and like blind themselves.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To just like understand what's going on.
Here, an elder bat folk trades their sight for visions of the realms beyond valley. And that's cool. And then their eyes. So that's why they're all starry-eyed, like in the one that I showed you. Yeah,
the one card you showed me. That's what I was
awesome.
thinking.
Yeah,
that's so cool. The Long River that runs the length of valley. I'm the Long River.
Yeah,
it runs the valley of. Runs the valley from its source above the forest and empties out into the vast marshlands. Three Tree City was built on its banks. To the south, it passes Pondside. One of its tributaries veers northwest.
And then there is, there's a lot of places here. You were right.
Dang, yeah.
Three Tree City, or Three Trees City, is the largest settlement in Valley. A forest city formed by the intertwining of an ancient oak, sycamore, and willow tree on the banks of the Long River.
That's nice. So it's named Three Tree City because there's 3 trees.
Yeah, buildings and the Three Tree City looks so good too. Buildings and fungal paths decorate its canopy and trunk. The city was founded to harmonize with nature, which is apparent in its organic layout. It was flooded by the flood gar around 4564.
Nice. The Crown is the highest point of Three Tree City. The Docklands is a sprawling array of docks and rafts off the bank of the Long River. It lies under the tendrils of the willow, and the Docklands are the center of trade for Three Tree City. And then there's the Quilted District. It's in the city's heart. It is named after its vast quilted banner symbolizing the union of all animal folk, featuring squares from every species that visits the city. That's so cute.
I gotta show you this quickly.
Aww.
Now seeing like the artwork for Fountainport, this is where Glarb is. And it is just a big fountain, and that's so the lily pad district at the bottom, where the tadpole district.
That's so fun.
That's awesome. Again, like I said, the the flavor in it is just pretty wonderful. I'm just trying to pull up the three.
It's nice to actually have cards to go along with the story.
Well, I guess we had like cowboy cards lately. Yeah.
I'm saying for all the stories we've read, we've had like one card.
For everything that we've been able to do so far has been not that. I wanted to show you Three Tree City. So this is the artwork of
with
the
the
land.
Seasons. That's why it would have been nice to like.
Yeah. So look, this is the, like you have your different spring, summer, like with its little rainbow.
Look at its little dock and stuff too on the long river.
Yeah. And then there's the winter and there's little fish head homes that they're living in.
I think that's the dock.
No,
I was
that's
talking about.
The dock is right here. But look, it's like the little fish head homes.
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah. I like the fish heads. They're cute.
yeah, but it's just I love the artwork of all of these.
So pretty.
There's as well. I'll scroll down to it and stuff. I wanted to quickly show you all of the lands of the set as well are like this. So they're all the different seasons of like spring, summer, winter, fall for all of it.
Those are so nice.
Yeah, like they're really, really well done, I think. And then it's the little frog you see, or the little bird or whatever this is here, observing. The same with the forest, the little rabbit
so
doing
nice.
the pilgrimage through each of them. They really did a good version of it all. It's kind of nice to see a set. This is the first set I felt in a while that felt flushed out. That's why I wanted to get into its lore so quickly.
Yeah.
Back to it, though. The willow is one of the three trees. The burnt ruins of Pondside, a small village beside a pond, sat between Haymeadow and Dewrim on the main road and near Good Hill. Had a diverse population, but no squirrel folk. It was destroyed by Maha, so that's what happened to Pondside.
Yeah, right.
Pond Creek is a thin stream that feeds the larger pond. It reaches near Good Hill.
The root maze is a vast hidden labyrinth of roots inhabited by raccoon folk. That's so fun to call it the root maze. Then there's the sunflower sanctum. There you go. Nice sunflowers. A well-kept sanctuary where tall sunflowers grow. Many animal folk source their seeds from here during the summer to store for the winter, but their heights are too dangerous for some animal folk. So bird folk claim many of this. Oh, I thought it was saying that the bird folk come and give them the seeds, but no, it's mostly just a bird folk thing. And then the tip of the world is such a great name. That's a perilous mountain where only bird folk dare to venture. When the risky adventure called the Plume Creed had been completed, the bird folk received the title of Wing Crested. And then there's the outer woods, which presumably surrounds a valley.
And then I guess we'll finish this part here. The cosmos contains spiritual wisdom passed on by the bad folk of past generations who have joined their ancestors in the night sky. Because of this, the stars of Bloomburrow are primarily tracked and observed by bat folk astronomers. Each star is given a name to fit its grandeur. So there's Aurochs, the Night Eater, and Blinky.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Bloomburrow has one moon.
One moon. Yeah. So that's kind of a gist of Bloomburrow. Like, what do you think of so far this plane before we get into... I know we kind of touched a little bit on the story. We know Maha's the main antagonist. We know a little bit about the Calamity Beasts. And again, knowing that they're the Calamity Beasts and that's what they are, it makes me want to build stuff like this and play stuff like this, right?
Yeah, it's nice to know, like, actually what's going on for once. Well, and it's, like, nice to see in the cards, like, oh, this is this place and this is this place. And I just really like animals, so I'm just excited. I want them to flesh it out more because it sounds like they're just like, we did the story and we're done. But it's like there could be so many, like, just give me the intricacies of like them living their day-to-day life. I don't even need you to have a big story. Just tell me about the seasons. Like I want to know.
Mabel bakes bread is yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like I said, the plane actually seems good.
Yeah.
The storyline seems pretty interesting, and again, like that's the problem is they put so much effort into what is at the moment one set, like one little thing. Like you can do so many things with these like Calamity Beasts, with the like the little mouse armies. I really hope that they flush this out more and more. I'm hoping that they start doing like more of the books because I would love to read like the Bloomburrow Magic series, right?
Yeah. Well, and then I was gonna say too, like with the cowboy place, like it doesn't have any like characters, like it doesn't have any people on that plane.
Yeah, it was just other
it just kind of sounds like there's really nothing to flesh out there. It's like cowboy land, wow, and it's empty, like there's nothing here. Where like this one, it's like, look at all of these characters and look at all of these places. Like they have so much stuff for it, so why don't they like do more with it than just be like, oh, we did one story, done, and on to the next whatever. It's like you could sit here for a while. I think people would be happy to sit here for a while, people being me and Daniel, and I think that's enough.
And everyone who listens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the heroine of the story seems good.
Yeah.
You can understand a story's good when you can understand its motivations, right?
Yeah.
Like when something's just evil for the sake of being evil, it's kind
Yeah.
of hard to get. But you can understand why an owl would be scary, right? And why
Yeah.
if a weasel stole its egg, it would lose its mind.
Yeah, exactly. And that like it would be trying to find it. Like, is it even like it's trying to attack out of like anger, or
Probably
is
out
it
of rage? Yeah.
Yeah, probably that, but also probably like fear, trying to find its like baby.
Yeah, it's
like
baby, right?
Yeah, like
and then like knowing that the story's going in the realm of like Maha getting the egg back.
Yeah.
And like just chilling down a little
Yeah.
bit. Like it's again, you can understand the motivations. You can understand why like a mother would like leave home to like try help out and stuff, right? You can understand why like a big burly badger warrior thing would want to like accompany like a small little mouse on an adventure.
You can see why a rabbit who consistently wins all of the archery competitions
is excited for something new.
Would be excited for an adventure because they've been banned from competing again because they're just too good at it.
Yeah. Like I said, the story's great. Our next week's episode, which will truly be on time this time, I swear. We're normal and can be trusted with schedules. But it'll be about the actual like story. We're gonna go through.
We've done the big overarching.
Yeah, that we've world built it, and then so we'll probably just read the actual magic story. There's like a little 5-part piece. We'll read it, go through it, and like I said, I think that especially for anyone who plays Magic, right? And I assume most of the people that listen to this portion of the Magic stuff play.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's gonna make you want to build stuff, right? Like it's the same thing. Now that you know what some of these cards are, if I build a Zoraline bat deck, you're like, oh, like that's great. I see the.
I'd be like, oh, I know this one bat with the cosmos in its eyes is because it's going blind, so it can like understand like astrology or whatever.
Yeah, see the beyond.
Oh yeah, Zoraline is just a little guy from the party, and like it would be an annoying what's your sign person if they went to a different land, but like
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's the gist of it.
Seeing the seasons and stuff is just like really cool. I want them to flesh it out.
Yeah. I say we wrap it there and stuff. Thanks for everyone for listening. Like, share, subscribe. We do post episodes on time occasionally. I promise it happens. But we'll get better at it. It's her. She's a problem. She's a real menace.
No,
I blame her. She can't be trusted with time schedules.
I can't be blamed for this.
Yeah, you were on time this time. I was tired. Yeah,
I'll take 49% blame. I'll take 51% blame is what I meant. You can take 49%.
Fair. Yeah. But yes, thank you guys for getting through this one. Share it with your friends. See what people think and everything like that. And yeah, it was great to do this. I'm excited to talk more Bloomburrow spoilers. And again, I'm happy that we're finally out of the non-canon stuff. So maybe we'll see some actual Magic cards in the sets instead of like one.
Right. It'll actually be where there's a bunch of cards to be like, oh, this is this and this. Well,
and that's what I mean. It was so nice to be able to be like, this is a card related to the story. This is a card.
Look at this card that has this piece from what we just read. Oh, Fountain Port is a fountain. Here it is. Here's the city for you to look at. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
I just like animals.
Thank you guys for getting to it. That's it. Have a great day.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, it's like I'll put it over to you. You're waving bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.